Congressman Don Young joins us right now, Republican of Arkansas. He is on that conference committee. It's a very crucial player in all of this. Congressman, thank you for coming.
Thank you, but I might correct you on one thing. Alaska, not Arkansas.
Oh, I apologize, sir. I didn't get my state initials down. That is my fault. So I apologize. It's a beautiful state.
Yes.
Let me ask you then, how do you feel about this tinkering a little bit, maybe with the corporate rates, raise them a little bit to increase the deduction for state and local taxes? Not as big an issue in Alaska, but potentially in some of your colleagues' other states.
This is a conference, and both sides have differences of opinion, but that's what we sit down and debate. The goal is to get this bill done. And I think you're going to see some additions that'll help out the larger tax states. It doesn't affect my state. I'm more interested in the development of ANWR and other things, but I'm beginning to see this little shift because everybody has to give a little bit, and I believe it'll become a reality. And heavily taxed states may not get exactly what they want, but they're going to be better off than, for instance, some of the bills are right now.
Part of the quid pro quo for that, I guess, sir, is that you raise the corporate rate a little bit to pay for some of these concessions made for your colleagues who are on the fence or just outright no's. What do you think of that if the corporate rate ends up not being at 20%?
Well, I believe that 20% is the correct number. But again, I say we're trying to solve a problem, get tax reform in, and there's room to compromise between the House and the Senate. I expect it to go up a little bit, maybe 2%. I'm not sure. But I do think that will occur, and we'll see if we're correct. As far as the time, will be a difference too. The Senate doesn't implement it in 2019. We implement it immediately, and we're going to see the effect upon the corporations. Will they come back to the nation, create the jobs that everybody says is going to happen as we lower this rate to 20% instead of 36%. So again, in the conference, this is my 45th year. I've been on a lot of conferences, and I'm optimistic we're going to solve these problems.
All right. Now, the first hurdle, more immediate hurdle, is on this spending measure to keep the government operating for another couple of weeks, I guess. Are you for what's been sort of laid out on the table?
I know one thing I'm for: don't shut the government down. I lived through the Newt Gingrich area when they shut the government down, and that's very painful. It hurts everybody. You don't solve a problem. You establish something you can't really undo quickly, and consequently the country suffers. So I'm not for shutting it down. The proposal has been laid before us. I think the short-term extension is absolutely necessary, and hopefully we'll get a long-term extension when we come back in January.
It's another chamber, Congressman, I grant you, but Al Franken resigning in the next few weeks, putting pressure on Republicans and maybe how they greet or don't greet a Roy Moore should he get elected next week. What do you think?
Well, again, the people make that decision, and we have to keep remembering, we become judgmental ourselves, but when the people do the electing, we have to accept the wishes of the people. I'm never happy with all the people that are elected, but that's the people they represent, and they have a right to pick whoever they wish to choose. And I will accept that, and I'll recognize it. I may not be too happy, but I will do that.
All right. Congressman, thank you very, very much. And I apologize for screwing up your state.
Hey, remember one thing, 20 times bigger than Arkansas, but Arkansas is a great state, too.
All right, now we got the Arkansas phones lighting up. All right, thank you very, very much.
God bless you.
All right, be well. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all of the above.